headed to play a good Indiana team that's having a really good season. Obviously picked up a conference win the other night. Uh, Tough and physical and big. They're one of the bigger teams, that probably the biggest team we play in college basketball right now, with their length, particularly across the front line. Well coached and disciplined in how they play. They play obviously with great pace, particularly at home. They're always a super aggressive team. So excited about the challenge. As far as Kyle is concerned, it's going to be really kind of up until game time. He was able to do a few more things yesterday, and he was able to move and do some things, but it's probably too early to determine exactly what his status is going to be. Obviously, if he's more ready to play than he was the other night, so we'll see. A lot of it has to do with just the normal fatigue level that you have when you have your appendix taken out. So it'll kind of be a game time decision.
Well, you answered some of this right there, but when you're dealing with an injury like that, is it pain tolerance at this point? Is it managing it, or what goes into getting back to being
Yeah,
from
it's a little bit both with Kyle. Now he's got a really high pain threshold. He just does. We saw that last year with him. Unfortunately, he's had some injuries that have kept him out of stuff, but really high pain tolerance. So for him right now, there is some pain associated with it, but it's more, I think, the fatigue and the other night I think he did want to try to give it a go. Just at the end of the day, it probably was not in his best interest for the remainder of the season to go.
You've struggled to get offense the last 3 games, under 60 points. Kyle's not considered one of your go-to offensive players. It strikes me that in those lulls, he often provides the hustle basket, the garbage basket,
Yep.
the putback, or he's great on the catch on some of those passes that have been turnovers. Can you just talk about what you miss when he doesn't contribute in those ways?
I think you nailed it. That's exactly right. That's he's not a guy that you're looking at and you're saying, okay, you can count on him to be a double-figure scorer. But in some ways, what he's doing is he plays off others so well that he's allowing others to get shots. And sometimes I think when we played, at times some of our lineups without Kyle, it's we have situations where guys weren't patient enough, and Kyle kind of lets it happen. And as you mentioned, when we have had lulls with Kyle in the lineup, he's been a guy who's either caught a dump down, or got an offensive rebound, or kept a possession alive. Listen, it's not like he's the answer to all of our offensive issues. We understand that, but he does help.
You've played 3 really good defensive teams. Your guards have struggled big time, all 4 of them, against those teams.
Yep.
A commonality they're having trouble with in the 3 games? Is it that West Virginia got them out of their rhythm and they can't find it because Wisconsin and Maryland are pretty good? Or what do you see guard-wise with the struggles of those 4 guys the last 3 games?
I think it's a combination of they have to be more disciplined and more patient in what they're doing, and they've got to make some open shots. They're capable of making some open shots. They've got to make some open shots, and they've got to stay with it. They've got to stay aggressive. I think it's been different in different situations. Dwayne's case, it's been a little bit more a shot selection that has created some inefficiency for him. Luther and CJ maybe not as much, but they need to stay confident and take good ones.
We saw both Zoe and Justin in the first half the other night, and both of them maybe showed a thing or two, but both of them had a turnover and they got pulled. And I saw you talking to them afterward. Where are those two as far as battling to try to give you some more depth at those positions right now?
I thought Zoe played hard. He's just we've got to get him. He's had a turnover issue. We've known that from dating to the preseason. Some of it passing turnovers, some of it's footwork, some of it's just kind of understanding how to play. So we need stuff from both those guys, and I thought Zoe provided good energy, and I thought Justin did too. But the turnovers have to be eliminated.
You've talked about how Andre's obviously not the most vocal guy. He talked after the game about he's a senior and he doesn't want a season to turn the way that it has the last couple of games. Have you seen anything different from him as far as trying to take on a senior role and do like senior things to try to stop a losing streak?
Yeah, I think he's been a little more vocal, and we've been asking that of him, and I think this team needs it. Listen, he's got to provide some perspective too. The reality is we've played some good teams here, and they're trying to win too, and we've not played our best, but other teams have performed better. Sometimes that happens. It's a long season, but I think for him, he's got to increase his level of leadership, which he has.
Do you feel like what you're doing conceptually, schematically, is sort of working, and it's more so execution, making shots, and just eliminating careless turnovers and whatnot?
I think you're always evaluating kind of what you're doing. At the same time, you're evaluating it when you're 11-1 too. So, or 11-2. It's not a situation where you're just because things are going well, you stop evaluating what you're doing and if what you're doing is working or not. So I think there's always adjustments that have to be made, but I think by and large I feel good about what we're doing. We just have to execute a little better.
Is it beneficial too? It seems like in the two of the close late games, your defense sort of kept you in the game, and you had an opportunity to win it if the offense got going. And even though you didn't have that situation against Maryland, it still felt like the defense kept you in the game. Is that a good feeling as a coach that, even if offensively, if things aren't going super well, it seems like defensively you guys are still at a pretty high level right now?
Well, I think that has to be who we are. I think we knew that coming into the season. I think we knew we were had more advantages on the defensive end than the offensive end. I think we got, for the most part, I like a few of the shots we got late against Wisconsin in that situation. Did not feel the same way against West Virginia. We just didn't make them against Wisconsin, but we had a couple quality looks. Our defense, I still think we can be better in some of the defensive areas, but it has enabled us to stay in some games.